by Bernard Jackson at the 24-yard line. A flag is down at the 45. His 9th season. Rocky Bleier, Franco Harris. The blue refer to the Pro Bowlers, voted by the players and coaches in the National Football League. Franco Harris, great running back from Penn State. Over 7,000 yards in 7 seasons. You'll see a lot of blue. The Pro Bowlers, you can make a whole defensive team just from Pittsburgh and Denver. Harris in trouble, and down he goes at the 31-yard line as Randy Gradishar was right there waiting.
That's his side.
It's 3rd down, 5. Steelers at the 31. Bradshaw's first throw, plenty of time, and he hits Lynn Swan for a first down. Oh, those beautiful gliding strides of Swan. Players and coaches in the NFL, so it's a very high honor. Your opponent's telling you that you're one of the best. Franco Harris to the 39-yard line. 2nd down, 7. Denver and Pittsburgh. I just have an inkling we're going to see a lot of scoring, however.
Well, we sure might. We're going to see some substitutions during the day, too, Dick.
Rocky Bleier, his first carry out to the 43-yard line. Number 77, Lyle Alzado, riding Pro Bowler for the first time. And he's working against tough Reuben Carter on 3rd down, 3. Harris. No hold. He's greeted by Reuben Carter, 68, and Randy Gradishar, 53, and the Steelers will have to...
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Interestingly, Red Miller is not using Rick Upchurch to return the punt. He has Dave Preston back at the 15-yard line. Beautiful spiral. And out of bounds. They'll mark it, I believe, around the 10-yard line. They're setting up the line of sight. No, they're going to say the 7-yard line for Craig, the favorite target of Craig Morton. Morton had 16 consecutive completions last week against Kansas City, one shy of the NFL record. It's Keyworth across the 10 out to about the 12-yard line, where it'll be...
Although we'll see some rotation on the right side of the defensive line.
Moses again in motion, and it's a flip to Randall, who had trouble hanging on to that pitch. Did not fumble, and down he goes with a 1-yard loss. Rocky counted. Donnie Shell had beaten out his teammate Webster at a safety spot.
It's a good thing they're both on the same team. There would have been a fight.
3rd down and 8. Keyworth inside, short yardage, and Denver will have to give up the ball. Well, from the first 2 possessions, Merlin, it appears from...
Both coaches will be happy.
You're going to take the snap from Bobby Maples, and Bucky Diltz delivers a high, beautiful kick. Jim Smith, no, it's Theo Bell at the 39, the 40, and down at the 47-yard line. Number 56 made the stop for the Broncos. Pittsburgh gained a few yards, about 5 on the exchange of punts. Terry Bradshaw puts it in play from the Steeler 46. Rocky Bleier met by Gradishar. Check, William Merlin, if there's more than one number 53 in orange. He's
makes more tackles than number 53, Randy Gradishar. Watch him shoot the gap right there. Coming in from behind, takes Rocky Bleier down very cleanly. He's made more tackles than you can believe during the year. And Gradishar, of course, making his way into football.
For Pittsburgh, oh, that's quite a quartet. They say Gradishar, it's his anticipation that gets him there that one step quicker than some of the others. Little screen to Bleier, and he's got blockers. But a fine play by Tom Jackson, 57. He was knocked off his feet.
Or out in front of that screen pass. Good acting by Terry Bradshaw. Watch how he pulls him in. Makes it look like a pass. And right here, takes a little steps backward, drops it off to number 20, Bleier. He's got 2 blockers. You see number 72 right there, working on Tom Jackson, trying to take his legs. Jackson doing a great job of getting his hands on Bleier, tripping him up, saving what could have been a big gainer.
It's a Pro Bowl play. Ball at the 47 of Denver. First invasion of the Steelers into Denver territory. It is 3rd and a long 3. Franco can't get outside.
Tackles. You got to add a couple more already in this game. Watch Randy Gradishar as he anticipates moves just right with the offensive lineman to the outside. Has great speed. Look at the position he got on Franco. Franco had no chance. Tried to fake him and cut inside. Gradishar just wouldn't be faked out.
Colquitt with a solo safety. That's Preston of Denver. 5 and into the end zone. So on the touchback, Denver will play it from the punt and a heads-up play.
Sure was. Oldham in position to possibly down that. Watch number 40, Charlie West. just knock him right away from that football. Didn't want it down inside that 5-yard line. Sometimes it's the little things that separate teams.
It could have been down inside the 5. Instead, the Broncos put it in play from the 20. Remember, Pittsburgh has not allowed a touchdown in the first quarter all year. Morton to Moses. Through his fingertips. And the receivers in that position are looking in.
You're going to take a chance to look from behind Craig Morton as he throws this pass. Started high with a pass last week. It was intercepted. This one just a little too high for Haven Moses, who went up. And boy, that's a dangerous thing when the ball is tipped. You and I saw a couple.
Intercepted last week.
The longest string in the NFL.
On the draw, Keyworth draws a lot of white jerseys. Very little gain.
Lambert, number 58. He just stepped right up into the line. He wasn't buying any of it. Claudie Minor trying to wipe him out, number 71. And Jack just stays away from that block, and he's filling it with his body. Claudie doing everything he can in there to keep him away from it. But Lambert would not be moved. Well, that's a big body coming down on top of you, too.
Lambert only 220, not big as linebackers go, but tall. A little small waist, 32-inch waist, but the incredible shoulders on that man. Morton under pressure. On the blitz, Morton hits the deck back at the 10-yard line as number 50.
We can make it tough on him.
From the end zone, Dilts will probably deliver this punt just at his goal line. Teal Bell back at the Pittsburgh 47. Short kick. Let it bounce. And laterally out of bounds at the 48 of the Steelers. So Pittsburgh near midfield will put it in play with 5:14 remaining in the wild card game. Bradshaw. Swan. All appeared to be talked about.
That's exactly right. Number 88, Lynn Swan, against number 20, Louis Wright. Drives right off. Wright plays deep, but look at the quick reaction to that ball. Times it perfectly and hits him. Ball actually had bounced out of Swan's hands. Looked like he might have been able to hang on as Wright got there.
He'll play again and will host the first-round playoffs back at Three Rivers. Good play action by Bradshaw, and he's going long for Stallworth, but it's Foley who's closest to the ball.
That where no one could catch it. He threw it away from both of them, but Foley turned and trying to catch over the opposite shoulder, almost got his hands on that football.
Looked as if Stallworth, though, if he had been running a post since the merger, 27 is the record since 70. 3rd and 10, Broncos look pass. Rizzo picked up on the Red Dog, and wide open is Stallworth. First down at the Bronco 35-yard line. Steve Foley made the tackle. Again, the Red Dog.
Blitz, you die by it. You see the trouble right here if you don't get to the quarterback with the blitz. You see number 72, Latimer, going in just a little late. Bradshaw has it on target. Stallworth cutting across into the open zone. That's a pretty play. That's a timing pattern. And Bradshaw did a great job.
Pittsburgh good field position. Jim Smith is in at wide receiver. He's to the right. Stallworth to the left. Blyer in motion. Harris with the ball. Well, he gets the ball, and the orange press surrounds him. 3:45 left in the first quarter. Harris at the 30. They haven't been able to run for any yardage, so they sent Harris into the pass. Only 20 intercepts. 3rd and 5. Stallworth, 15, 10, and it'll be 1st and goal for Pittsburgh just inside the Denver 10-yard.
Like the number 82, John Stallworth. He's had a great year himself. Now watch him as he comes down the field. Breaks to the outside. A little bit of a move there, a little shuffle, and then hard to the inside. Up, he looks like Swan there, high in the air, just sucks that ball in and makes a couple of extra yards on the run. That's a pretty play.
Indeed, from Alabama A&M's John Stallworth, 1st and goal Steelers. No score, 2 minutes left first quarter. On a counter, it's Blyer to about the 6, maybe the 5. Or was there a trap?
Well, he faked it to the outside. It's a trap and a misdirection at the same time. Fake it to Franco outside, give it to Blyer back inside.
2nd and goal, Blyer again. He gets just to the 4-yard line, and that's all. But is a tight end experience. Grossman, the other tight end, is the wing right. Fake to Harris. Throw it to Blyer. He did not get in. He stopped at the 1-yard line. So, Harris. He didn't get in. Yeah, now they signal touchdown. The 2 linesmen did not run, and the umpire saw that the nose of the ball had crossed that goal line.
I think he just burrowed in there. They had to come in and examine the bodies of them in there. Watch the surge from field level. Well, I'll tell you, that's a lot of crunching bodies together. And I think Rocky just ducked his head and squirmed up through there, able to get enough yardage. You see him coming to the inside. Franco did it, actually. Rocky in there ahead of him to open a little more room.
That's right. It was Blyer's block that gave him that little room that he needed. Roy Girella out of Colquitt's hold. He's got it. With just 38 seconds left in the great start and a tough finish. Girella hits it well. One of the big wingmen, Chris Payne, at the 15, the 20, 25, 31-yard line goes Payne, who doesn't get a lot of chances to return kicks. T.O. Bell made Morton, his team, down by a touchdown. Brings Moses in motion. And hands off inside to Keyworth to the 35. Now that was a misdirection play. Double wing formation. And it's Lonnie Perrin. Out to about the 39-yard line. Again. Not a bad way to prepare for the playoffs. It's 3rd and inches. And Otis Armstrong, I don't know if he made it. I don't think he did. At the 40-yard line, hit a stone wall. A steel curtain slammed in. Kick it to the other end.
You know the answer to that one already.
7-0. 4th and inches. And Dilts is going to kick. Wobbly boot taken by Bell, and he is taken immediately by number 50. Pittsburgh leading 7-0. 13:56 left in the second quarter. Bradshaw from his own 29. Harris is 8 yards and 8 carries, and that's about his average. He gained 1 from the 30-yard line. Joe Rizzo, Barney Chavis made the stop for Denver.
We talked again about Franco Harris.
But you know, their top 4 rushers this year, Merlin, they don't have one man averaging more than 4 yards a carry. That seems unusual for them.
There's a reason for that. We'll talk about it later.
Blyer. And he gets about 4 to the 34, bringing up 3rd and 5. Chavis. On 3rd and 5, Bradshaw.
Out of the battle as he goes by Webster on the left-hand side. Watch him just force his way past Mike Webster. Webster doing everything he can. Little stunt there as Barney Chavis, number 79, came around from the other side. But the two of them end up with a sack on Terry Bradshaw.
Colquitt, end over end. Takes a Pittsburgh bounce. That's a 20, a 25, a 27-yard roll, and a fumble. And Preston's able to recover his own bobble back at the 16-yard line. So Colquitt, a short kick, but about a 30-yard roll, adds up in his own end at the 16. Craig Morton, trailing 7-0. Armstrong, a big hole. That's the best game of the day for the Broncos. On to the 24th in the game, far right with Moses slotted right. Odom's on the left side. Flag is down, so is Armstrong. Short carry, no gain at all, maybe a yard to the 24. It appears. Whoa! Blindsided, almost got away. I'll tell you that story about him as you see him in action. We'll give you the story that he wasn't recruited by Penn State.
Well, Ham blitzing on the outside, the best way I know to kill a little play-action pass that's going to bootleg out of there, as Morton just looked up and said, "Oh, hello, Jack. I think you're here a little early."
One scholarship left the next year, and Paterno said, "If you're tall enough, I like those long, lean linebackers." He said, "I was just 6'2", and I got the last scholarship." As Paterno and Penn State have. Out of time for Morton. Somebody must be open. It's Moses. And finally, Jack Ham makes the tackle at the 40-yard line, where it will be first down Denver.
And knowing how to get open. Watch Haven Moses, number 25, running his pattern. See Morton start to scramble. Now watch his reaction. Looks at the coverage, cuts back to the inside, finds some open territory, receives the pass, and then he wants a little extra yardage. He gets it right there.
Moses catching his 33rd pass of the year out of San Diego State. Boy, that was a great trade Denver made back in '72 at Buffalo for Dwight Harrison. The M&M combination. Backfield with Lonnie Perrin. Vince Kinney, rookie in motion. Lytle in trouble. And Cole hits him from behind and drops him. Cole, the second-year linebacker from New Mexico, doing a fine job in reserve of Taves.
He surely is. They miss Lauren Taves with his great ability, but Cole doesn't. You don't drop much with Cole in there. Watch the determination right there. Howard trying to block him. He skips across Howard and gets a hand on the ball carrier right there. Lytle goes to the ground for a loss. He's second 15. I'll tell you, though, if they get a couple of linebackers hurt, they're in deep trouble. They're very shallow in the linebacking core.
A tough call for Morton on second down and 16. Extra linebacker in. Dennis Winston. Morton gets it to Rick Upchurch at the 40-yard line for short yardage, and the flag is down.
Looked like the Pittsburgh Steelers jumped the
Full going out. I didn't see the other Pittsburgh player lead. They may have a 12-man defense. Oldham playing right over center. Now he backs off. And Morton in trouble, and L.C. Greenwood finishes the job. Greenwood named to the Pro Bowl as well. Had that for you on NBC, the wild card game. Whoops. Premature movement by number 65, Glenn Hyde. That'll be another 5 yards against the Broncos. Now back to the 23rd and 30. 8:28 remaining in the first half. 7-0 Pittsburgh. Morton. Trying to hit Vince Kinney. Rookie from Maryland. Dilts. Beautiful. A picture spiral to Bell at the 34. 40. And whipped down at the 45-yard line as 3rd and 6. Bradshaw. Grossman. Fine catch at the 30-yard line of Denver. The ball was a little behind him, and you could see he was fighting the sun as he tried.
Ball that's thrown slightly behind. Grossman, they say, has the finest hands of any of the receivers on this Pittsburgh Steeler team, and that's quite a compliment. Watch Bradshaw with time to throw. And watch Grossman turn now, take it on his back shoulder right there. Has to go completely around. That's some excellent work at both ends. Good pass, good reception.
Grossman has caught 37 passes, and Cunningham had 16 before he was hurt. That's 53 from the Pittsburgh tight ends. Harris gets around the corner and knocked down at the 25-yard line after a gain of 5. Typifies the kind of prototype you'd want at that position. 2nd and 5. Harris starts inside. Oh, I think everyone on the Denver team had a shot at Franco, and he stopped for no team. 3rd down 5. So good that Bradshaw was able to recover his own fumble, and almost intercepted by Lewis Wright, intended for Jim Smith.
Cornerback. Watch the reactions now. Dressed to the inside, has got his eyes on the receiver. Coming up now quickly.
But he may like this commercial message. Wildcats here on NBC. 7-0 Pittsburgh. Denver with the ball. Morton gets it off to Keyworth, 30, and he fouls to the 35.
Down to the pits. And watch this one from ground level. Morton dropping back, looking for an initial receiver, can't find him. He's getting a little pressure here, has to sift to the left as he gets away from number 76, Banaszak. Throws completely off balance, but gets it on target, which is the important thing. And John Keyworth knows what to do with it when he gets a hold of it. Very, very close to the first down.
Keyworth, who played 6 different positions in college, a handy man to have. First down for Denver at their own 35. That's their 3rd first down. 4 minutes remaining in the half. Broncos trying to put together a long drive and tie the game. Keyworth. Flag down. Umpire threw it. I suspect Earl Campbell will get a lot of votes, but he'll make Rookie of the Year most certainly. And some may say, well, that's 1 award's enough for a first-year man. Morton to Odom's, tried for the one-handed catch, could not come up with it. Odom's
team, but around the league who would feel exactly the same way. But
2nd and 20. Pressure. Another flag. Odom's has the catch. 35, 40. Fumbles. And I believe Pittsburgh has the ball. The Steelers recover at the 42-yard line.
Call was made way out on the sideline. Keep an eye on there. So maybe you can see, there it is right there. Holding right there is number 64, Furness, on his way to the inside. They couldn't keep him away from Morton. Somebody had a little lock on him, and of course the official saw it.
Pittsburgh at the 43. Bradshaw leading 7-0 late in this first half. Guns it to Stallworth. How'd he get it through those two-arm? Tom Jackson looking back at Bradshaw as if to say.
Watch him as he goes back now. He'll set up. He'll fake first to the short receiver, and then he'll throw to the deeper of the two receivers. Watch it right here. A little pump action fake right there. Holds it back and fires to the second receiver. And just pulled Jackson in a little bit with that first pump, got him out of position and dropped it in there.
He's gone to Stallworth. 3 catches, 54 yards for number 82 Stallworth. First down play. Bradshaw running for his life. Throwing for Stallworth. Who's got it?
He'll go to the offensive
Stallworth,
end.
touchdown. Mutual catch between Stallworth and the Broncos, number 40, Charlie West. And West appeared to have it first. Stallworth took it away on the way down.
This is one of the reasons that I would be voting for Terry Bradshaw as Player of the Year in the AFC. You get the pressure on him, he can still run. Buy a little extra time and throws running to his left. That's as tough a throw as there is. But let's give John Stallworth the credit he deserves. 2 Broncos right on top of him. He just out-muscled number 40 West for that football. And even though the two of them had possession at the same time, it's given to the offensive player. Touchdown.
Here's the try for point by Girella. Boy, that's 20 touchdowns between Swan and Stallworth.
That's a record breaker for Bradshaw, or a record tire.
Kick is good, and the score now 14.
A little disappointed here, Dick.
Girella hits it well. Barron 3 yards deep. The 10, 15, 22-yard line. Denver will play it at the 22.
Fine start in this ball game. We may well see the second quarterback in the next half.
You talk to the Pittsburgh players, though, they say no question. Our best player, our most important player is Terry Bradshaw. Morton, long, and he has Moses open. No catch at the 42-yard line as Moses was popped by Dungy and Mel Blunt.
Why there wasn't a penalty called on that play. Morton throwing that ball. Looks like it just hangs in the air. Had it been thrown a little lower, a little quicker, he may well have had a chance to receive it. But it's up there so long that 2 defenders cover the ground in between and knock him out of bounds. Ooh.
And we talked about Lewis Wright. Watch number 47, Mel Blunt. All-Pro 3 times. He's in the Pro Bowl again. He's the second man, and watch his timing. Exactly as the ball arrived, he popped it away.
Pretty hard to hang on to that guy.
Oh, that must be so tough. A receiver makes a great move. He's open. He catches the ball, takes that kind of lick, and then he comes up with nothing, except a few welts. Whoops. Morton barely able to get that ball off to Rob Lytle.
Lytle not able to
try to tone things down all week long. Our team wants to win this one almost too badly. Morton hits Jack Goldman, who ducks out of bounds at the 35-yard line, and that should be good enough for a first down, and a flag is down. We may have a hold back at
off the back of Morton there. But watch Odoms here, and Blunt staying right with him man on man. Gives him a little bump there, maybe beyond the 5-yard range. But the important thing, stays right with him. Well, little bump again. Well, that's tough.
Oh, road service. Morton needs a big one. Throws to Moore, and he had no catch. He had 1 foot out of bounds, did Moore, as he received the ball.
They've been in it. They are not in this football game right now.
Dilts from his 5. T.O. Bell waiting for it to come down at his 46. Great by Dave Preston, the rookie downfield to trip up. In the first quarter, Denver's been a good second half team, with the exception of that Jets game. They usually own, especially the fourth quarter.
It's interesting. The defense of the Pittsburgh Steelers said they own the first quarter, and the Broncos say they own the fourth. We'll see whether they do as well as Pittsburgh did in the first.
38 is Sidney Thornton. He's built like
table in America.
A tremendous surge. A lot of that's determination, too. Just the fact that, hey, we're not going to let them on the board.
It's important that Denver stops Pittsburgh here with a 14-0 lead. And look at that, Thornton. Flag is down, however, as Thornton running through the entire Denver team. And finally, the last man, Louis Wright, drags him.
Sidney Thornton will get credit for that very fine run. I'm sure there are some frustrated coaches on the sideline wondering why the Denver players cannot tackle. Look how many he runs over in the process here. And he is a tank. He is just almost impossible to get a hold of. One of the most muscular players that I've ever seen. He broke about 5.
just wait for somebody else to help out. Some of his teammates couldn't hang on long enough. This time it's Rick Mosier. So the young backs, Thornton and Mosier, 38 and 39. Mosier, 39 from Rhode Island. He's short and stock. Brian Gumbel in New York. Mike Hafner with us here in Denver. Mike Adamle in Hawaii on assignment.
Ooh, look. Oh.
Thornton, and it took 3 of the Orange Crush fraternity to get him down.
I was running to rent a car, and this man was tying his shoelace, and just as I was about to jump over him, he stood up.
If you had an Avis former assistant under Sid Gilman at San Diego and under Don Shula at Baltimore before he went to Pittsburgh. 3rd and 5. Big hole for Mosier, and he's inside the 15, a first down.
That guy has him on the line of scrimmage. He'll call an audible.
Got Smith and Bell as his wide receivers. Looking for Smith. Too low. Lewis right.
Not playing right.
Bradshaw, 2nd and 10. Thornton. Gradishar got there first. Number 53 for Denver. Short yardage and 30 years. 23 seconds left in the half. Bradshaw with his youngsters in the lineup. Has a man wide open. Touchdown, Jim Smith. Smith of Michigan is
allowed the Pittsburgh Steelers to trade away Frank Lewis, an outstanding receiver in his own right. You see him there again. The good receivers find the open spot when the quarterback's in trouble. And Bradshaw gives you that extra dimension for the quarterbacking position.
And when Smith spikes this one, he's also erasing Stabler's fame. 28 touchdown passes now for Bradshaw. He's a little happy, isn't he? Zarella adds the extra point, and that underlines a very impressive Bradshaw. Zarella with 14 seconds left. Skips it into Preston. 15, 20. 25, 30, 35, and finally wrestled down at the 43 with 7 seconds left in the half. So last week, came up to you're Merlin Olsen and looked at me and said, and you're Tom Brookshire. Morton to Odom. Intercepted by Tony Dungy, the former Minnesota quarterback. Dungy, who leads, played his college ball at Boston College. Whoops. Randy Grossman. No, it was not Grossman, but number 74, Ray Tenney. He rocked off his three-point stance, and then he soon found a seat on the carpet.
Well, Penny has now moved from the right tackle over to the left tackle, and Larry Brown, number 79, who we told you earlier is coming off an ankle injury, is getting back into the lineup at his normal position, which is at right tackle. But that's a little, again, a frustrating thing. Moving from one position to another, he changes his stance from a left-handed to a right.
He started running his arms around, gesticulating to the crowd. Hey, let's get going to his team. Let's show a little fire. That's Moser, the rookie from Rhode Island, stopped at the 30. Rizzo, Jackson, Godwin Turk is in for Gradishar at one of the inside linebacker positions. Screen to Moser. Almost knocked down by his own man, Gary Mullins. Pro Bowl again. Maryland State is school. 3rd, 16. Moser, nothing much. So the Bronco defense stops. Oakwood had a good first half. Short kick. Fielded by Charlie West, 32. Back at the 30, now to the 35. A flag down.
They certainly haven't been able to penetrate the 50-yard line, Dick. And you see Preston here. He's going to lunge for it. I like him. He has not had many opportunities today, but in
Denver hopes he won't have to see duty in the second half. Weiss in trouble. Jack Hand. Weiss gets away, and now fumble. Flag. Nope. They had blown it dead. They say that they had stopped Weiss, and the referee, Fred Wine, had whistled the play dead.
We talked about the great play of number 59, Jack Ham. I happen to think he may be the best linebacker in all of football, one-on-one. Watch him here, blitzing, coming hard to the outside. It looks like he's going to be blocked. But watch the determination. He goes right over Glenn Hyde here, gets a hold of Norris Weiss, The official, in trying to protect Weiss, I think had blown the flag, had blown the ball dead right there. And I think Ham let go of him. I think that's why he got out. The play after that, of course, does not count. Therefore, the fumble, which was recovered by the Steelers, will not. What did he tell you, Dick?
He said, I love it right here. I love that outside linebacker. You know, he wasn't a starter. He didn't play high school football till he was a senior. There's hope for you young athletes who maybe aren't seeing as much good as you. That'll be against Donnie Shell, 31, as he moves in on Riley Odom.
Saw Lyle Alzado on the sideline. Donnie Shell unhappy. You never like to be flagged for that kind of situation.
It's Preston again, and he finds room before Jack Ham can ride him down out of the 49-yard line. The trap. Let's wait till this play's over. First down for Denver in the Pittsburgh territory. The 47 goes John Keyworth. How did you read the trap? Obviously, they're hoping to fool you.
Sure enough, wham, here comes somebody on the inside.
What'd you do when you saw that other man coming in trying to trap you? Was there a certain technique?
I prayed a lot.
Waste a lot of time. Jack Golden. First down at the 31. This is Denver's best opportunity.
The crowd is coming to life. A little earlier, I think we even heard a few boos out of this very partial crowd. But Doris Weiss got him fired up. He's a favorite here at Denver. Watch him here. Buys a little extra time, shuffles out of there. We said he wasn't a great passer, but you couldn't prove it by that one. It's right on the money to Jack Dalvin.
Dalvin, practicing chiropractor. And the first down of the Denver 31. Keyworth gets 3. 2nd and 7 for Denver. Weiss to Preston. Jack Lambert and Robin Cole make the stop for Pittsburgh. 3rd and 4. Open is Moses.
Everybody fooled on that one.
Jim Turner's try for point out of Weiss's hole. Right down the middle, and we have a timeout. 5:47 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Denver's on the board. Pittsburgh, Oklahoma, Nebraska. Perrin roots that one right over the head of Larry Anderson, and Pittsburgh will start at the 20-yard line.
David marching here if they're going to get back into the game.
Throws it to the quarterback. Flyer, and I believe that's Thornton. Flyer gets nowhere.
Getting some points on the board. And you see a surge from their defensive team.
21-7 Pittsburgh. This is 3rd and 7. Krusik's first throw. Finally ran out of room. Down at the 15-yard line, and the Bronco fans finally have a chance to really cheer.
Watching yourself. Little blitz coming there. Number 59, Joe Rizzo, trying to get to the inside. Krusik steps up, gets a miss right there. Another chance. John Grant, 63, misses him. Another miss right there. I believe that's Godwin Turk. Finally, that ball looked like it was almost knocked out of his.
Beautiful kick by Colquitt to Preston.
Whoa!
Back to the 25, and Lewis Wright recovers it for Denver. Boy, is that getting out of a hole. A great kick by Colquitt. Then the Norris Weiss trying to keep the momentum alive for Denver. Hits Preston. Great catch. 35. He's to the 39-yard line. First down.
Watch Thomas do it, or Preston do it right here as he leans back, pulls it in with one hand, goes completely around, and then gets a couple of extra yards, and Jack Ham closes in to make the tackle.
And what a play. Ham had 2 men covered on that. You see, he had the man to his left, and when he didn't get the ball, he quickly reacted and went back to make the stop.
A little hello to NBC. Dick?
I learned to spell my name. I guess that's
funny
when I put that there. Preston ripped off another 9-yard gain, and the Broncos trailing by 21-0 at halftime. Much, but they're the coaches, the head coaches of the future, perhaps, and certainly such key members to organization's success. We salute them en masse. Keyworth gets the first down as he's to the Pittsburgh 49-yard white men.
Denver Bronco team.
As are the Three Rivers fans in Pittsburgh, as the Steelers players would have said. Weiss play action. Flag down. So, no, Weiss maintains his balance. Look at that throw. A shovel pass to Riley Odoms, but I don't believe it'll count. But what an effort.
Did a great job of keeping his balance right there. Hit from behind. Watch it. Catches his balance with his hand. Now he's just going to kind of shot put that ball. Watch Riley Odoms. You don't think he's a tough one? Watch what he does at the end of this run. Boom, boom. Oh, Tony Dungy. Come back, Tony.
See your dentist on Tuesday.
Why, right there.
Well, the ad-lib quarterback from Mississippi, not a great arm, not tremendously fast, but he makes things happen. Rob Lytle slashing for 3. Let's go back and take for 6. Passing here in the second half for 90 yards. Pass situation, 2nd and 7. Play action. He's to the 16-yard line. Not afraid to carry the ball. So Weiss dipping into his basket of surprises for a little bootleg in the final minute.
Watch Norris Weiss fake right here. Put the ball behind the hip. Banaszak is responsible for that containment right there. You see how quickly he gets back around, but not quick enough to take Norris Weiss out of a very big gain. Going to be 3rd, about a yard to go.
You know who got him again?
Jack Ham.
I would think he doesn't. 3rd and 2. A short 2. 2 tight ends in. Moore and Odoms. Lonnie Perrin intercepted and dropped by Lambert. So he was right on Perrin as that pass floated. As Weiss under a tremendous rush.
A lot of pressure.
This is the final play of the 3rd quarter. Had to throw off his back foot, and he was fortunate that Lambert didn't intercept. We'll go to the 4th quarter. Denver facing a 4th and 2, and down by 2 touchdowns. 4th and 2 for the Broncos. They trail Pittsburgh 21-7.
And we got 4 linebackers in the game. An extra linebacker and a 3 defensive linemen.
Weiss to Keyworth trying to get outside, but there's Robin Cole to drop him for a loss, and Pittsburgh takes over on downs at the 19.
Boys down. You see Keyworth going outside. Robin Cole did an excellent job of playing off the block of Lytle right there. Forces Cole to go wide and then makes a brilliant open field tackle to shut him down. And Pittsburgh Steelers will take over. Wow.
Well, Mike Krizik trying to get the Pittsburgh offense in gear. I have a feeling he's just in a safety-first offense. Number 39, Rick Moser, the rookie picked in the night. Little House on the Prairie here on NBC. Jonathan Garvey, Merlin Olsen, has a big role in that. Krizik, boy, fighting off Don Latimer's tackle and drives for a first down to the 31-yard line. Latimer had
inside. Thornton getting away from one of the linebackers. That's Godwin Turk. But you see Rizzo popping it right there. Put it right in his ribs and knocked it back.
Don Latimer with him, number 72, the #1 draft pick of the Broncos from Miami of Florida. 2nd down, 9. Moser to the 37-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and a short 5. 12:45 left in the game. Pittsburgh 21, the Broncos 7. Denver, by scoring, maintains its record of never having been shut out at home. That's a remarkable record. 146 straight games. No one shut out the Broncos here in Denver.
That is remarkable, and certainly, especially so, since this has been a team dominated by defense over the last few years.
Bell left. With Thornton out as a wing right. And Krizik to throw. Intercepted by Tom Jackson at the 49-yard line. Jackson's 3rd of the Eagles.
Was there to say you got to watch for that linebacker coming from the inside out on that particular defense.
Denver with the ball at the 48 of the Broncos, and Norris Weiss back to throw. Wide open Moses. Trouble, and Pittsburgh doesn't have it yet. Now Tony Dungy. They whistled it dead. Hold on. Denver still has it. They whistled the play dead at the 29-yard line. First down, Denver. They keep the pumpkin.
Norris Weiss running out to his right to escape some great pressure from Steve Furness. Throws completely off balance, but gets the ball again on target. David Moses doing a good job. Watch the fumble. Looked like it dropped cleanly before Moses was on the ground. Tony Dungy having his problems getting a hold of it. Another angle. You look for yourself. Ball dropping well before he hits the ground. Dungy in on top of it.
Oh, tough break for the Steelers. Denver gets a big break. They the man who made the tackle. 10.5 minutes left. Denver, 2nd and 5. Preston smacked at the 21-yard line. As Canada and Lytle behind him. Keyworth flanked right. Canada loses one. 56. Rob Moore now for Weiss. Too much time. Delay of game costs Weiss and the Broncos 5 more yards. Well, maybe that's the reason.
I don't know. If they get it, it's a record for Turner, but
he's going to kick it. High enough, long enough. Good. Yes, he passes Red Cox.
That's one tough bag.
Samsonite makes over 400 styles of tough bags. Samsonite's got your bag.
At Pioneer, we don't build a high-fidelity.
Invested on NFL 78. Merlin Olsen had an excellent feature involving the American-style kickers. They're going out of style.
he said he's not a dinosaur. He can still root him. He's been around a long time. He was my college quarterback back at Utah State.
That is a long time.
Yes, it is.
Lonnie Barron to kick it off. And that one's going to go out of bounds. 5-yard penalty, and Perrin will try again.
The reason for that is that Pittsburgh cannot play the wild card team if the wild card comes from their division, as Houston does.
Perrin is kicking off the way I used to play golf. Another OB, and they'll have a 5B here at Mile High Stadium.
Well, that's what he used to be, and he put that one down deep. But watch now as Anderson makes a play here. He gets out of the grasp of Bernard Jackson, number 29, cuts across the field. Now figures that he's going down, but they might as well get another chance. Flips it off to Dirk Winston right there. Picks it up on a single scoop. Heads to the outside. Unfortunately, down by Jackson. That's the same guy that got in on the tackle the first time.
Save that for us in the truck, will you guys? Then we can see that again. I want to point out a great piece of hustle by Bernard Jackson. Here's Cruiser. To Thornton, 40, and down at the 44-yard line. On that kickoff, Cruiser, 2nd and 1, gets the first down as Jack Delaplane from Salem, West Virginia College. Moments you've given us on television, that's got to give you a great thrill.
It really is. It's a special thing to be a part of a show that goes into so many homes, and it's such a special thing for the family.
Patrick Moser up the middle and into Denver territory to the 48-yard line.
What they had to do today was to make certain that they kind of broke the image of being intimidated here in Denver, and they have done that.
Delaplane gets the first down. We'll see whether it counts. A flag is on the field. Appreciate all your help, gentlemen. And tomorrow. 2nd and 15. After the holding penalty. Kruzik gets Jim Smith, and a fine catch by Smith. Wow. He's still on his feet, but Smith was touchdown back at the 37.
Might guess with 88 Lynn Swan and 82 John Stallworth. But watch this one-handed grab. He gathers that ball up with his right hand off the ground, pulls it off his knee. That's a fantastic catch.
Indeed. He caught that one like an outfielder racing into the gap and making a shoestring catch.
Yes, he did. And I'm corrected. It was his left hand rather than his right. But no matter which hand it was one fine catch.
Indeed. Smith from Michigan had a touchdown in the first half. Delaplane up the middle. Slipped away from Jackson. Fumbled the ball apparently, but after the whistle, Charlie West. That is a $500 gift.
Yes.
We spared no expense. That's Moser, short yardage to the 31-yard line. Well, we had all pooled our resources, and we had the $500. So we'll have to do radio. How are you going to make us watch the crowd? 4 minutes and 18 seconds left is Kruzik. Oh, get it. Too easy. Tried to intercept it or not. Louis Wright looked back as if to say, that high ball, or did I go out of bounds? It is his ball, but he had been out of bounds. Out of bounds back at the 24. I believe it's a difficult call for the official. Let's look at that interception again.
Now watch Mosier batting the ball around. The ball will bounce into the air, actually hit on his back. Louis Wright does a great job right on top of him, scoops it up. I think the official blew the ball dead right there, mistakenly. You see Louis look at the official? Now the ball should have been blown dead. No reason to blow it dead. It wasn't out of bounds. Well,
why did Wright stop to turn back?
He heard the whistle. And once the whistle is blown, the play is dead. Even if it's blown in air, the play is dead.
Of course. So Wright denied the long return, but Denver does have the ball. So officials erred on that call, apparently. Weiss gets himself extricated. Larry Canada gets the ball to the 33-yard line. This is 8 out of 9 throwing. And takes to the air. And misfires to Otis Armstrong.
I can see why these Denver fans like Norris Weiss, can't you, Dick? Boy, he will do anything he has to.
Well, I'm looking forward to those. We're going to try to untangle that NFC wild card picture for you before we leave the air. Oh! Horse collared by was Norris Weiss by Dennis Winston.
Watch number 53, Dirt Winston. One of the hardest hitters on this team. He comes up right there and catches Norris Weiss in the air and just levels him.
Was not a penalty because he got him in the shoulder underneath the arm and not up around the helmet. Otherwise, that's a 15-yarder. Ball at the 35. First down for Denver. Time running out. 2:42 on the Broncos. They trail 21-10. Number 65, Tom Beasley from Virginia Tech logs the third sack of
Determined who will be the champion of that Central Division of the NFC.
If Minnesota wins, regardless of what Green Bay does, Minnesota is in the playoffs. Wide open Odoms. And Riley Odoms cut down at the 45 of Pittsburgh by Ron Johnson. First down. What's he doing? Giving a commercial? What? I wouldn't like that diet. Man, that's a
I think he's got a little comedian. He does some singing and some entertaining. I think he was giving us some entertainment on the sideline.
We were trying to fudge a little bit and get him to say hi, Dad, because everyone says hi, Mom. Instead, he gave us a commercial. Norris Weiss. Haven Moses. Ron Johnson makes the stop at the 25. Denver does not call time at the moment. 1:48, 1:47 left. The clock is running. 21-10. Pittsburgh leads. No huddle. Weiss from the Steeler 25. Good protection. What a catch by Moses. Will they call that a catch? No. Incomplete pass down at the 8-yard line.
Watch it for yourselves. Now the ball thrown over his head. Watch how high he goes to snake that ball in. Dungy right on his back. No, Donnie Shell, 31, right on his back, forcing that ball to shake loose and just
within 21-10. Would like to make it closer. Weiss swings it to Canada, drops the ball. So some of the running backs, Pittsburgh, and they wanted to erase that record. They want to win finally in Denver, and apparently will. Although a minute 23 left, and a little activity on the part of both lines, and Preston did a good job of ad-libbing.
Claudie Minor.
Oh, don't you do that.
Don't you do that, Terry.
You see the hat said Super Steelers on it. Pittsburgh offering at least a challenge to the rest of the American Football Conference.
And as tough as they are at home, there are a lot of people concerned about going in to play them in the Steel City.
You can't blame them for that. A blitz on, a full blitz. Open is Odoms. Touchdown! What a throw by Norris Weiss. Under a full blitz, Weiss able to unload that.
Tremendous pressure on him. He's hit just at the last second, releases the ball. Beautifully thrown. And, of course, an excellent catch at the other end by Riley Odoms. Spiked it going away.
Well, you could see Weiss was like a fallen tree as he unloaded that pass and was right on the money to Odoms. So it's 21-16 as the Broncos go 76 yards in 9 plays. Turner boots it home, and with a minute, 17 seconds.
Pittsburgh Steelers expecting the onside, and they're going to get it. Oh!
Almost fumbled. Now that's a live ball. You saw the Pittsburgh Steeler come across that 10-yard zone. Teams have made that mistake.
It's only a legal reception for the Denver Broncos, though. They can't touch it until it's gone 10 yards. But the Steelers can come all the way up and get it off the foot of the kicker if they wish to, as long as they don't do it until he hits the ball.
Wonder who got the ball. Get a guess. I know you don't know. Just guess one player.
Jack Ham.
Jack Ham is right. How did you guess that? Oh, he is omnipresent.
There he is.
All pro, Jack Ham. He just wanted that ball. Now Denver has to try to force a fumble. Denver has all 3 timeouts remaining, so they should get the ball again if Pittsburgh does not make a first down. There's their first timeout called with 1:09 left, and we'll be back. The score here in Denver. They go home seeing a win. 21-17, Krusik on the roll. Oh, is he hit at the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd down, and the clock stopped with a minute.
Perform who's shown admirably during the season.
Well, that's the perspective of Ham. Even on the sidelines, he's dominant. 3rd down and 8. Krusik on the roll. And those linebackers are too quick. They drop him short of the first down at the 36-yard line. Clock has not stopped yet. 49 seconds, and now the last Denver timeout is exercised with 49 seconds left. Let's see what Pittsburgh will do. Well, let's first invite you to join us. Back to the live action. The punt by Colquitt, and that's going to go way in the end zone. No question about that. In fact, out of the end zone, so from the 20-yard line, the mobility of Weiss and unpredictability to get out of pressure from that pass rush. Down the middle, surprisingly, to Moses. He's to the 50, but the clock is running. 33, 32, 31. Denver hurrying to the line of scrimmage.
They're going to try and snap it here. Oh, hurry.
24 seconds, 23, 22 from the 50. Weiss throws it away to stop the clock. 16 seconds left. Moses free down the middle.
The Steeler defense playing the percentages, Dick. They're covering everything to the outside. Weiss crosses them up by going into the middle, but the problem there is there's no way to stop the clock. They've got to come all the way up the field and line up. By the time they got there, they'd run off about 25 seconds off the clock. 16 seconds left. They've got probably 1 or 2 shots left, and they've got to make...
Pittsburgh 21, Denver 17. Weiss a big second half. Going for it all. Rick Upchurch. Flag. Interference in the end zone. Oh my, 7 seconds left. Rick Upchurch may have been injured on the...
Rick Upchurch's face mask may have been hooked. Right there, you see his head snap back. That's Olam, number 25, a reserve who's in the game. Still has a hold of the face mask. Looks like he twisted Upchurch's head back a little bit. Let's hope that it's just a slight injury. You wouldn't want to see a player injured on such a great play at the end of the game as that.
But no question, Merlin, an excellent call by the official.
Norris Weiss getting a little extra time as he scrambled away from the rush. The official right on top of the play. You see his position. Oldham right there. I don't even think he was conscious of what he had in his hand. Certainly didn't appear that he had any intent of injuring Rick Upchurch, but there's the flag. You see how quickly it was called.
And Upchurch is now being helped to his feet.
He looks like he's all right, and that's good news for us. I'm sure good news for everyone here.
We're going to take him right into the Denver clubhouse. Here it is, folks. After a 21-0 Pittsburgh halftime lead, Denver has a chance to win it on probably the last play of the game. If they go for a run, that is the last play. They can't stop the clock. And Norris Weiss, of course, has that potential of the run pass.
Norris Weiss loves to go for that rollout pass, which gives him both options in this situation. He is a good runner, and he has thrown the ball beautifully today. What a great second half.
There it is. Did he make it? No, the steel curtain on the final play of the game, and there's the last second, has stopped Denver, and Norris Weiss will have a talk, I'm sure, with his head coach. He wanted to go for it. Look at it. Weiss takes his helmet off. He wanted to throw it to the turf. It was not the play would have called. Pittsburgh stops Denver on the goal line, and the Steelers beat the Broncos 21-17 in a great way to finish the regular season. As you look at the last play, the executive producer of NBC's NFL Football is Don Ohlmeyer. Telecast of today's game produced by Michael Weissman and directed by Ken Fouts. Our technical director, we don't have one, at least listed, in Jim Marcioni. Was the associate director. Ray Pagelski was our technical director. There's the final play.
That's how close he came to that end zone. The ball resting virtually on the goal line, but not across it. Pittsburgh goes away with the victory. Come back by the Broncos anyway.
That's right. Even in defeat, Denver seems well charged for the upcoming playoffs, and we've enjoyed bringing it to you. Final score.
Most of you may know by now, Clemson beat Ohio State 17-15 in the Gator Bowl last night. Now, some of you may not know that game was Woody Hayes' last as head coach at OSU. He was fired this morning, fired after 28 years because of his actions in the final moments of last night's game. As he watched his team try for a winning score late in the ball game, less than 2 minutes remaining, Hayes saw this. Art Schleister intercepted by Clemson nose guard Charlie Bauman, but watch what follows. Watch Hayes from the left corner of your screen, takes a whack at Bauman, punched him right there. A fight ensued, and the people at Ohio State have decided that enough is enough, and they have decided to relieve Mr. Woody Hayes of his duties as head coach. Hayes got so caught up in the excitement, this shot was eventually snapped. He was even hitting his own player. No matter the legend, they have decided that is enough, so that is goodbye to Mr. Woody Hayes. Let's set our playoff picture today. It is Denver playing at Three Rivers against Pittsburgh. Later on in the NFC, the Atlanta Falcons will hope for a miracle as they play the Cowboys in Dallas. And then tomorrow, Houston travels to Foxborough. They'll play the New England Patriots, while out in the Coliseum, the Los Angeles Rams will finally try to win a playoff game against the Minnesota Vikings. When we come back, we'll look at Red Miller and the Pittsburgh Steelers right after this. Were Ernie Holmes, Glenn Edwards, and J.T. Thomas. But early on, NFL opponents found out the Pittsburgh Steelers had come up with other stars on defense. Stars like number 31, Donnie Shell, who went from a suicide squad player to a superstar. And then they came up against the Cleveland Browns, a hot Cleveland Browns team, and it took them overtime and a flea flicker. But the Pittsburgh Steelers did manage to beat the Browns, come out on top, and they were never to lose possession of first place in the AFC's Central Division. They did, in fact, hit a lull in their season, a point at which they found trouble scoring points. When they played a bad Cincinnati Bengals club, they could only win 7-6, as their defense had to carry the day, and their offense wasn't putting many points on the board. Kenny Anderson was intercepted there to save this ball game. But then they came up against the Houston Oilers, the contenders for that top spot, and they hurt the Oilers. They hurt their main man, Earl Campbell, and it was a sign that the Pittsburgh Steelers were indeed ready to be physical and go after a world championship once again. By contrast, the Denver Broncos hit a low point early on in November. In the 10th week, they blew a 28-7 lead at home when Jimmy Robinson completed this pass to Wesley Walker to complete a comeback that saw the Jets beat them 31-28. But it had all started so nicely for the Denver Broncos. They opened the season going against the Oakland Raiders, and they were out to prove that last year was no Cinderella freak. They did just that, getting interceptions against Kenny Stabler and setting a tone for the year, a tone that was to say that the Orange Cross was indeed once again back, and that Kenny Stabler's passes would not rob them of their crown. They weren't getting a lot of offense, but once again, Craig Morton, last year's AFC Player of the Year, was doing the job. He didn't throw it often, but he did throw it accurately enough to carry the Denver Broncos to 10 wins during their season. By the 14th week, it was showdown time once again. Early December, they had to travel to Oakland to once again meet up with the supposedly magical arm of number 12, Kenny Stabler. And once again, the Denver Broncos came on strong, applying a lot of physical tactics to Stabler's receivers, while up front they controlled the line of scrimmage and proved that they once again had an opportunistic defense, a defense that carried them into the end zone once and managed to limit the Oakland Raiders to only 6 points in that ball game. By the 16th week, they were ready to close out their season. In a game that only meant pride, they went against the Pittsburgh Steelers at Mile High, and in the first half, it was the Steeler defense and offense that dominated the day. Led by Jack Ham, the Steelers made life miserable for Denver quarterback Craig Morton. By contrast, Terry Bradshaw was alive and well and throwing the ball in Mile High. He threw for 3 touchdown passes in that game to give the Steelers a 21-0 lead. But the Broncos, playing on pride, came back in the second half and closed to 21-17 when the clock ran out on them. Today, they'll get their chance for revenge in their 3rd Super Bowl. And No one in Pittsburgh relishes this possibility more than the gentleman with the cigar, the patriarch of the franchise, Mr. Art Rooney Sr., 77 years young and still Mr. Steeler. His role in Pittsburgh sports history is legendary. From minor league baseball player to the founder of the city's first pro football franchise in '33, his contributions to Pittsburgh and to football have been well documented. With the Steelers in the playoffs for the 7th straight year, we caught up with him at Three River Stadium.
I've lived here in this neighborhood, though, for over 70 years, most all of my life. I lived right outside the door here, left field. My father had a hotel, or a saloon, as you call it, and a restaurant. And it was a great game. It was the biggest worry you had in those days with most of the ball clubs was not only the thrill you got on Sunday, hoping that you would win, but on a Monday, meeting the payroll. The game has changed a lot, and of course it's all been for the best. For instance, in the old days, there were great ball players that played, but there were a lot of great ball players, college ball players, that didn't play because they could do better in some other line of endeavor than they could in those days playing professional football because of the salary.
Back in their early days, the Steelers seemed to attract fewer quality players than the other NFL teams, for it seemed that a game against the Pittsburgh franchise was the closest thing to a sure win for their opponents. During the 30s and 40s, a 500 season was an accomplishment in Pittsburgh. With the coming of World War II, Rooney overcame the player shortage and kept pro football in Pittsburgh by merging his squad with the Eagles for the '43 season and with the Chicago Cardinals in 1944. In the 50s, fortunes remained much the same, but quality ball players were wearing the Steeler uniform more and more, 2 of whom have gone on to bigger and better careers in the NFL since competing for the Pittsburgh starting quarterback job back in 1953.
Well, I feel very fortunate having had the opportunity to be with the Steelers, even though we weren't a winning football club. I think the atmosphere that we had with the Steelers during that period of time was one that I've never been quite in that same environment since, and I think it's attributable to Art Rooney, and I have a hard time calling him Art Rooney, and I still have to call him Mr. Rooney.
I have the highest regard for Mr. Rooney, certainly as most people do, but as I get a little older and I meet more people, I realize that there are very few big men in life, and Mr. Rooney is what I consider a very big man.
But my father really is basically a politician, and from the time I was raised and grew up, politicians never had a dirty connotation with me because of my father. He always said that politicians were good people and that you really had to have politicians to make things go and to make the community go. And he thinks like a politician. His first thoughts, in fact, he and I disagree on this a lot of times. I say, we got to do something that gets it done. He says, what's the reaction of the public?
Pittsburgh always was a football town. Even before we had professional football here. It was a great semi-pro town. They drew thousands of people to the games and top semi-pro games. Certainly Noel, Danny, and Artie, they deserve all the credit for the success of this ball club in the past 7 or 8 years. Since they've taken over here, they've been in the playoffs really 7 times. Of course, they chose Noel as their coach. And I think that Noel is as good a coach as there is in the business. His record proves it. And they get along very well with Noel, and they work hand in hand with him.
Throughout his career in Pittsburgh, he has always been Mr. Rooney. In his dealings with his paying public, his players and coaches, his fellow NFL owners of the world in general, Art Rooney has been